All right, we're live. Welcome back to Craft Your Stash, episode 2. Let's make sure we actually go live. We're actually popping up here. Where's an eye at? Let's refresh. There we are. That was weird. Anyways, welcome back to the live show. If you're watching the replay, I'm Auntie Tay. If you're new here, welcome back. No, the other way around. If you're new, yeah. Anyways, episode 2, Craft Your Stash. Oh, guys, heat transfer vinyl. That's what we're dealing with today. So I have some tips. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give them some tips because we're going to do some stuff too. But I think we need to talk mass crafting and how to get things done. So I basically spent this morning uploading a bunch of projects into one Sorry guys, my cup's like sitting right in your face. Actually, let me drink some water really quick. Hey Clarita. So I just ate lunch. I had a Starbucks breakfast sandwich because my daughter now works at Starbucks, and I just opened her fridge and realized she gets to bring home a bunch of their food if that doesn't expire, but like they want their food extra fresh. And because my favorite sandwich is the tomato mozzarella, which like nobody loves, she gets a ton of them. So anyways, I need to drink some water. My whole point there. So while I was uploading designs, I started like a whole new project in Cricut Design Space, and I started uploading them, and then I just realized like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a ton of like themes going on here. So I layered them. I like grouped them into the themes because I was trying to figure out, okay, where am I going with this? How am I going to cut the colors? Like, I kind of want to like specifically pick colors that go with the base of what I'm choosing to make. And I don't want to just like mass cut a bunch of black because I have a whole roll of it. So what I ended up doing was grouping them, I'm hiding them, and then only picking one group to open and work on one group at a time. And so does that make sense? Is that, hey Cherie? So if that makes sense, we can move on. But if you need more clarity, let me know. So I highly suggest doing that. We'll see how it turns out. But basically what I was finding was I want to cut a bunch of colors, but I'm not really sure like what looks best on what. So like I have a Bible that's rose gold that I want to put some heat transfer vinyl on. I have some bags, like a ton of tote bags that are tan, and just a bunch of things. So I went with mental health, and in this video, I am not going to make any of the things. I'm just going to kind of go over some tips because I actually can't find my blue. We used blue on the caps last week, and I don't know where I put it in this room, which this room is not very big, so I have no idea how I lost it. But I brought all my other colors and started putting them there so we can do the other colors. But I have a teal, I have 2 teals I want to cut, and that's all in my blue. So another tip is organize your heat transfer vinyl by color, and another tip is don't lose it, the whole color, otherwise you don't have that color. Okay, so my first cut is 2 big black like outlines of the whole thing. I'm doing the You Matter and the Be Kind to Your Mind. I'm gonna do a whole live just on mental health crafting, and then I'm gonna actually do each one of these themes as a live for these, and then you'll see the colors I pick, and then you won't have to sit and cut all of it with me. I'm gonna work on that today when I'm not on live. Okay, so let's just mirror these, and I need 22 inches of black. So I'm gonna get this cutting, and then I'm gonna weed these random things I have cut that have just been sitting around, because that's what Craft Your Stash is all about, is getting things done that have been sitting around. And my goal is also to get, oh, I know this brand is so weird. I can't remember what brand this one is, but it's like matte. I guess that looks shinier. It's matte on both sides, and it's hard to tell what is the top. And I can't remember the brand of this one, but I've got other brands. Do I have 24 in this? No. Okay, we'll use that for the second matte. I don't have 24 in that either. So hopefully I can Let me grab a weeding tool. I moved my, hold on buddy, watch out. I moved my Cricut to this side of the room, so we'll see. But then Oliver lays right in front of it, and he just gets scared every time I step near him. He's so skittish. Okay, I think, yeah. So this, I hope this isn't puff. We'll find out when I press it. I won't be mad. These are gonna either be totes or t-shirts. And I'm specifically making them for the friend that we had last year who lost her daughter. And so she likes to wear a lot of mental health stuff just to like encourage other people that they matter. And so I thought I would make her something, and you'll hear more about that in the mental health video when we do. How's everyone doing? That's true. I have so many rolls and sheets from subscription boxes that I'm sure are not going better with age. Right. So let's get this heat transfer vinyl used up. And that's why I wanted to kick Craft Your Stash off with two things, which is paint and heat transfer vinyl, because I feel like we have a lot of that lying around, because usually you'll buy some paint and then you have a whole jar left. So like find something on the side of the road if you don't already have something, like I did with this picture frame, and start getting painting things, using up some of your supplies on top of all those random projects. For me, it's more of my random projects. I've done a pretty good job on using up my actual supplies, but I still have some things where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a ton of that color. Let's make some projects. I made a new summer embroidery file. From your summer files, I designed it for a hat, so I stitched it on a hat. I've been holding on to. That's awesome. That's so fun. Okay, so I'm gonna get this cutting, and hopefully we'll go. Let's just mirror everything so I don't forget while I'm on live. Mirror, mirror. But I'm really digging the kind of batch creating by theme versus like color, honestly, because then I can really fine tune those colors, but I can cut 3 or 4 things at a time. And then say I'm doing that theme for an event, or I want to have multiple stickers cut out. If I'm doing this with vinyl, I can then upload that design and resize it a few different ways and duplicate it. And then I could create mass amounts of them if I need to. But I'm really trying to be more creative with this Craft Your Stash, not so much make multiple of anything. I'm trying to make one of a kind type style things, because this is really the last round of stuff that I'll be creating to photograph in our studio for like one final shindig photograph before I'm gone out of the studio. So I think it'll be cool. Okay, this can be moved up. I'm also gonna just change up my mats a bit, but I can't cut all of this with you guys anyways because I don't know where my blue is. So we're just gonna cut the black, and then we're gonna weed some of those things, and we'll weed these two things if this heat transfer vinyl is good enough. Cricut is on. Let's see if it'll connect that far away. Within 15 feet. Okay, we're good. I have connected from a lot further than 15 feet. So, hey bud, you're fine. Here you go, lay down. Ollie is much calmer to be in here, but sometimes I'll step on him because he's so quiet that I forget. I also moved my Cricut to my tiered tray. I'm working instead of crafting, which makes me sad. Well, when are you off work, Missy, so then I can make sure I go live? I'm planning to try to go live a little later today because it's not super hot out, so I'm digging being in here. I'm also drinking my caramel macchiato that Briley brought me last night. She's so funny. She was like, I got it with no ice, so it'll be nice and good for you in the morning. I was like, that is super smart. Thanks. Shanks, kid. Okay, so I'm really going to miss my perks of driving her to work, though, because I get my free Starbucks. Okay, so that should take a second because those are two pretty intricate designs. And then if I do have another color, I can get that ready at least. Got some purple, which I just gave up once I couldn't find the blue. I was like, whatever, I need to clean. I actually need to do like a straighten up of everything and then get back to moving forward on some of these. But we have, while I'm with you guys, let's see what we have here. I have all these like random things that I feel like I could heat press onto things or stick in our mystery box, because these specifically are for crafters. They're these cute decals that I created for some event I did where I needed mass amounts of projects. This is flocked too. I love flocked heat transfer vinyl. Questions, you guys? What are you guys up to besides? I'm trying a lap quilt while watching. Ooh, that's fun. Are we new to quilting since you said trying? I've done square quilts. When the girls were little, I did make them both a quilt where I backed it with just like a blanket, because I loved the like idea of looking like a quilt, but I didn't want to make a whole quilt. And I think I still have them. This room has all of our old like bedding in it, and I think I came across those blankets a while ago, but I never like top quilted it or anything. But they're super cute. Lately, sorry, I just like glitched. Lately, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people upcycling old quilts too and turning them into different things. And I know it's kind of controversial. It's kind of like doing vintage furniture. People are kind of like, they love it or they hate it. They want you to restore it and keep it the way it is. But the girl that I watched made a good point that the quilt was at the thrift store. Like, it probably wasn't getting much love just being at the thrift store. So she turned it into something else. And I've also been seeing people make things out of granny squares. They like crochet the granny squares, but then they turn that into like a stuffed animal or a jacket. I'm loving that. My paints are front up. What does that mean? Front up? Oh, drying up. You fixed it and I didn't even read. Yes, you have to use your paint. I have, obviously you guys, if you watched yesterday, you'll see that that is one thing that I really do need to double check. It's kind of like pens. If you don't use them, they will dry up. And I actually had to throw in my that's chalkboard white tintable paint, but I had a whole tin of chalkboard paint that I had to throw away because it was completely dried up the other day. I was so sad because I was just ready to make a chalkboard, and that's one of my favorite paints to use, but obviously I didn't use it enough. I get off at 2:30 PST. Yeah, so I was thinking about, I mean, if not, I'll be live later in the week, later in the days, but I'm stuck at home for the next 3 days because they're doing the road construction, and I had to like park all the way out and walk like half a mile through the woods, mind you. But, you know, it's actually really nice because the construction guys have like protocol for you walking through, so they walked with me half the way, but it kind of, I was like, now I actually have to like keep going. I can't just stop and take a break. So anyways, I got my walk in this morning. But all that to say, I am stuck here for 3 days, not being able to leave really unless I walk a half a mile to my car. And I was thinking it would be a great time to go live all day in the evenings, but I don't want to bore you guys like crazy. And I know some of you guys are just like, it's fine, it's nice to have somebody in the background while I'm working on my stuff, but I also kind of want to make sure like there's actually projects being completed, and I'm not just like, we waited for 4 hours today, guys. So this sheet, I'm going to show you guys. All mine are in storage right now. Paints. Oh, girl. I hope they're doing okay in there. Is it a weather controlled environment? And it really matters if your lids are on and if they've ever been opened. But so these, see how they're weeding out squares? I designed this a while ago for a specific event so that it cut all these decals. See, it says create and cultivate, stay creative. They're all these creative decals. which I think will be fun to throw some of these in the mystery box. Pre-weeded, or should I just leave them unweeded? I think pre-weeded is fun. I want to put them on some stuff too. I may put some, it just depends on how full this mystery box ends up being. I'm kind of worried about the size of it actually with some of them. So I don't know if I'll actually have room to fit like a full project in there. Weather controlled and inside black and yellow totes. Nice. Hopefully they are okay. Are you planning to get them out anytime soon? Or I actually tried to donate some paint and the thrift store wouldn't take them. And then I tried to donate to our crafting thrift store and they were like, you have to make an appointment. I think I told you guys this, but I was just like, what do I do with this paint? So it's actually right there. It's pour paint, like where you mix it in and you drip it, and I just have never used it. And I was like, somebody wants this. I know they want it. And now that I have it and I'm stuck with it, I'm thinking I will try to work it into something that I want to do. I was thinking it'd be cool to try it out on like a piece of furniture, honestly. But I also just don't have room for a lot of furniture right now, so I don't want to be making a bunch of things that are big. I actually helped the church ladies today sandwich and actually laid out one. Otherwise, I've just helped by tying them. Nice. That's fun. So do you have a quilting group at your church? I don't know. I don't think we have a quilting group. We had a sewing group for a little while. That was cool. But no quilting group. On one of our women's retreats, there was another quilting group there, though. That was like, that's gonna be my life when I'm retired and done with, I don't know if I'll ever be fully done working. I can't imagine stopping anytime soon, but these like cool strips though of heat transfer vinyl. I kind of want to like keep all my scraps. This is just random and hoardy, but like keep all my scraps and just like heat transfer vinyl all the scraps onto something. I don't know, maybe it's because I worked at a gym and we would keep the kids' stickers and turn them into cool things. Like, they were sticker balls, but then we started getting like creative and making like stick trucks and different cool things. So I'm like, what can I do with the scraps? Has anyone ever done anything cool with their scraps? I don't have any paint projects. That's why they're in storage right now. Yeah, yes, that's probably a reason why not to have them around. So I still worry about your paint. I'm like, make sure it's gonna be okay when you get back to it. Okay. I'm literally weeding the same design over and over and over again, but it'll take up less space once it's done. I'll have one less roll of randomness in this room. And actually the flocked takes away the sticky of the plastic. So I've been sticking my pre-weeded designs onto like a piece of clear plastic that's not sticky. That way they, like, not transferring it or anything, just putting it on it so that it doesn't stick to other designs. And I like when they're not that sticky. So then I can just throw them in wherever I'm keeping them. So that design's gonna take a second. I don't know how long because the new Cricut system tells you it's 100% done, but it's not. And I don't like that because I usually like knowing, okay, that's gonna be like 20 minutes of my time or 10 minutes, you know? I was working on my blog post earlier and I'm trying to figure out how to do the photo collages. I do photo collages in Canva. And you can do PicMonkey, which I have not used in years, but there's lots of ways. You can even do them on your phone. You can download a photo collage app and create them and then send them back to yourself and then add text. So you see why I can't go live for more than like an hour when I do stuff like this? Honestly, I was thinking about it and I was like, why does it bother me to go live when I don't have like a start to finish project? Which, duh, that makes sense, because who wants to watch somebody not finish something? But I was thinking about that. I was like, when I'm in this zone, I really like to listen to podcasts or like watch shows. So actually, we could probably do like a sprint this week, which I think would be really cool. So basically, you like stop. I would stop talking and but I would need to set up my live stream system, and I can't do that because I'm not on Wi-Fi, because we have terrible Wi-Fi out here, and I can't move my business Wi-Fi home until I don't need it anymore at the studio. It's just like all these things, but I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, like, I could do it janky style and figure out how to like have a video or a show going. But this is when I catch up on my shows. I listen to shows, and I actually was realizing I'm watching the latest season of Handmaid's Tale right now, and I don't know if I didn't watch last season or if I just did that so often, and the show is just really a hard show to listen to and not watch. So I don't know if I'm just not caught up because of, like, I don't remember it because I just listened to it. But either way, the new season is still, it's not as traumatizing as the first few seasons, so that's been good. But I can't leave it. I have to watch it. So that's what I was saying, is I like zone out when I'm usually doing mindless stuff like this, and then that's when I put on, I'll finish a full season of something. So what are your guys' recommendations for stuff? Because I'm actually almost done with that one. Finished the second season of the Mormon Wives show, and I'm just over it. It's the dumbest show on the planet. I was like, okay, I'm over it. They literally just dream up dumb drama and make a new villain each season, and it's just not cute. But to each their own if you like it. And then I watched, I don't know what else I'm watching. Love that show. I want to rewatch it from the beginning. Me too, but then, so I went to go start it from the beginning, and I really want Dustin to watch it with me too, because we have a hard time finding shows that we both like, because he loves, like, the most gruesome shows, and I'm like, this is so boy. Like, I don't mind boy stuff, but when it goes too deep, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not a boy. Like, I can't do this. So like, he was watching Reacher, and I was like, there's just too much killing in it, and it's just not good. Yeah, but like, so we're caught up on The Chosen, we're caught up on House of David. We watched those together. Then he loves, which I hate that he loves, because then I have to wait for him to be home to watch it, but he loves Love is Blind. And so we like watch that show. That's like our show. He's like my girlfriend now when it comes to that show, because he's like, I got some Olipop, you want some we're gonna watch Love is Blind. And I'm like, okay, I really wanted to watch it by myself, but okay. So we're caught up on that. And then we watched 1883, 1928. Both of those were like our show that we were obsessed with. Loved those shows. Again, though, that show's so gruesome and so hard to watch. There's so many crazy things that happen in that show that I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch another episode, because I just don't know what they're gonna do. But it's such a good show. And since it's based on, like, it's not a true story, it's based on just the reality of what it was like for people coming across the United States and what they had to do to survive and keep their land and stuff. And it's just so good, but really hard to watch. I know how to make them, just not sure what kind of photos. Oh, got it. Love that show. I love Reacher. Yeah, I couldn't get behind it. I didn't mind it, but there was something about it. I don't know what it was. I just was like, okay, he's killed like the 7th person. By the 7th person he killed, I was just like, I'm done watching people kill people. Or him kill people. I don't know. Maybe I should go back and finish it. But I think actually Dustin watched it without me, so I don't think I have to. But we also haven't ever watched Yellowstone. I've tried to get into it, and 1928 and 1883 or 1820, whatever, those, they're prequels to it, and those were so good. So I don't know why it's been so hard for me to get into Yellowstone. Again, it's another one of those things where it's like they're just killing people, and they're, I don't know. And then what other shows? Yeah, because he literally was like, any shows? We haven't watched shows in a couple months because we were caught up on everything, and I just didn't have any ideas. So I was like, I don't know. I don't think you're going to like anything that I'm watching. But also Handmaid's Tale, like, he can't just jump in. And I was watching season 5 or whatever a couple days ago while I was working, and I was like, he's going to hear it and he's going to know, like, he's going to want to watch this show. And he didn't, though. So I was like, okay, because then I have to, like, wait for him to catch up, or I can't talk about it with him because then he's, like, invested, you know? So, and I always wonder how they're going to keep that show going, and they do a really good job still. The main character is good to look at and reach her, LOL. Yeah, I guess. I just don't like, he looks huge to me. I'm like, he's just that's not nice, but he's just so big that I'm like, he's like superhuman. And that's kind of what they market him as, right? I don't really ever remember. I know he's like a vigilante, right? Isn't he like wrongly accused of something? I don't know. So that is one thing we've been watching. If we do pick something, it's not like a series. It's like something we can watch one thing of. And so we watched, although it was done so bad, we watched the Menendez brothers. I don't think I finished it. It was so boring, the way it was done. We watched the Martha Stewart documentary. That was done so good. We watched that the day it came out, though. I loved that documentary. And then we just watched the Tylenol one, which knew that whole story, but I don't know where I stand with it after watching it. I'm like, it wasn't like enough new information for me to be like, dum dum dum. But, oh, and then we watched the first episode of A Killer Has Two Faces, or something like that, about Lacey Peterson and the other girl. But then the second episode wasn't as good. I think that one was about Chandra Levy, and then I was over it. So, trouble finds him where he goes. Yeah. Okay. So, sell me on Reacher if I have to rewatch that or go back to it. But I was over it. And I tried to watch that one where the girl's like a doctor in another town, but she lost her husband. She has like all this trauma, but she doesn't talk about it. So she's trying, what is that? River. The only thing I like about that show is it's Virgin River. The only thing I like about it is it's based in Northern California, even though I don't know if they film it here. But I like seeing like the nature in it, because I'm like, that's where we live. And so I like that part. But that's it. It was so boring. I'm deep in it, but I don't really like it. And I feel like I watch a lot of movie shows now that I'm saying all the stuff. Yes, Virgin River. So anybody, like, does it get better? Am I just lame that I don't like it? I love all the Lindsay Lohan Christmas movies. Those were super cute this season. Definitely watched all of those. By watched, I mean listened to most of the time while I'm doing stuff like this. Or graphic designing. Listen to that design. That one's going to take a while. Did I miss anyone's comments? Hiya, Mara Bear. Are we frozen? No. I like Virgin River. Hold on. I like Virgin River. I think a lot of their scenes are in Canada. Oh, are they? That would make sense. So there you go. It's based in Northern California, but they film in Canada. That just shows Northern California is so pretty. It's really pretty up here, actually. So sprints, let me know if you guys want me to do sprints. Basically what it is so I don't have to talk for like 45 minutes and I can just do something like this. It's like, you can put it on whenever, but I would talk with you guys for like 10 minutes and then we would sprint. And mostly people do it when they read books. They do reading sprints. But I would do it with crafting or whatever you're doing, really. I actually would do them with people and I would like clean while they would read and I would get so much done. So I love the sprint concept. All right, this is gonna make a little dent in my pre-cut need to weed area bucket. And I'm putting them all in. I'll show you. I can't remember where I got this little container, but I like it. And I'm like, how do I find more of these? I'm not sure if it was like an old pen holder or something, but it's perfect for like 8.5 by 11 and smaller projects. About noon, well, it's 1 o'clock, so it's not that hot out, but about this time is when the sun blares through these windows. So it starts to get a little warmer in here, and then it just kind of traps it, but it's doing okay. I'm not too hot right now. I'd actually rather craft while I'm hot than cold, that's for sure. I finished. Okay. So that was just one of the colors of the mental health, and I think I'm cutting like 4 mental health designs. Okay, so that's all the pre-cut creative stuff, and I love how it's like not sticky with itself. So I can throw these into the mystery box. If you get one, you may need to weed out any pieces I missed, but you'll know, hey, this was something she weeded live in one of her crafter stash. But not promising everyone will get some of those, but I'm assuming once I cut more things, I'll have lots of stuff like that, because I have a lot of stuff for like Pinners Conference and things that I don't think we'll be using ever again. So okay, so this is all summer designs, probably from last craft year stash. I have some snowflakes, which just need a little weeding. And this guy, I've got a bunch of him. He's just those scissors that have the roses on them. It's one of our designs, but I love this little design. It is kind of a pain to weed when you got to do a bunch of them, though. When Calls the Heart on Hallmark is good, too. So I am like... When Calls the Heart, I'm done with it, right? It's got no new seasons. I loved that show. I was thinking the other one based in Canada, Heartland. Is that what that's called? Heartland lost my attention like quite a ways in. Like I'm pretty deep into that show. When Calls the Heart, I love that show. Watched it all back when it first came out. I don't think there's new stuff. There's actually another show that's very similar, and I cannot remember the name, and there was only 1 season. It was a girl who was like starting a sewing business in like that same season, like time frame, like the early 20s, like 1920s, I think, and can barely remember it, but it had like the same feel of like, oh, it's older, like you get a little history with it, but you also get a little romance and some like entrepreneur woman style stuff. And so I can't remember what it was called, but I loved it. And now I know I'm like, I hope there's another season. There was this last season where she is with Nathan now. Nathan, that's the guy, right? What is he called? A chancellor? I watched The Crown. I loved that. And then I watched the other one. There's another. I have not watched Bridgerton. I cannot get into that one. If it's not true, it's got to be done really good. And I know people are like diehard Bridgerton fans, but I'm just like, it's not done good enough. I don't like it. It's too new. It feels new, and it's an old time period. And I'm like, you have to make it feel old but relevant. Like Anne of Green Gables literally loved that show. The Mountie. Yes. Okay, so that's Nathan. She's been with him for years. Right? There was this the last season, right? That was like years ago. She reminds me so much of one of my old students. I loved it. And she's so cute, and she's the best. Her character is so good. And Nathan's so good, and everybody's so good in that show. Oh, wait, and they couldn't have kept it going because what's her name went to prison in real life, right? Or did they just kick her out of the show? What is her name? Aunt Becky. Oh, that's one thing I've been watching on my drive homes is, I guess I never finished Fuller House either. I guess that lost interest. So that one I put on in the car while I'm driving home just to listen to because it's dumb. And I'm like, this is a good one to kind of just like tune out, but laugh at here and there. Lori Lawlin. Yeah. So did they finish that show with, because she's in that. Loved When Calls the Heart, though. That was a good one. So what else am I missing? What other shows should I watch? It's funny because they can't keep up with how much we can actually watch, I feel like. And sometimes I'll go back to nostalgia and just try to watch a show. The girl, well, Briley is watching, trying to get them onto One Tree Hill. My Anna, my niece, was watching One Tree Hill, but she ended at the episode, you know, I'm not going to say it in case no one's watched the show, because I think that's one that's going to last, like, people will still watch that forever. But the episode with Keith, she got to that episode and then she didn't keep going. I was like, you can't stop. But okay, these are a pain in the butt to weed, but I do want to put them on something so I can get them moving into different zones. Let's weed a bigger project. No, I don't want to do much Disney stuff this season. We are doing a whole Rapunzel pack because if anyone remembers this, I'm going to make a bunch of Rapunzel stuff. I haven't opened it. Does anybody remember this? This is literally a pack that we used to have a long time ago. Like a long time ago. And this is all the Rapunzel colors. And I just haven't wanted to open it because I'm like, no. But I decided I'm going to cut a bunch of Rapunzel inspired designs out. Maybe design some new ones. And then do a whole Rapunzel day. And that's really the only character I think I'm doing this whole season. Because I'm just kind of over characters at this moment. Doesn't mean I won't come do more eventually. I'm just wanting to do like real themes. Like we're doing, so let me show you. Oh, I dropped it. I'll leave you guys with this. This is what, so on the first page of Craft Your Stash, not the HTV edition, I put all the categories that I was coming up with. And I was like, okay, I have enough stuff to make all of these things. So girls trip, because I'm making totes for the ladies that are going on the girls trip. I don't know 3 of them or 2 of them. I don't know 2 of them. So I just texted and said, can you tell me like some of their hobbies and stuff so I can like kind of try to put some of their stuff together. But the Rapunzel pack, a faith-based episode. So we're going to do like some Bible covers and we'll do some tote bags for like your study stuff and other cute things. Summer, crafty girls, gardening, Father's Day, baby stuff, 4th of July, mama, autism, and mental health. So those are things that I have people I want to make things for. And so then I was like, oh, but I could make them a little gift basket. Hey, Ashley, welcome. I started watching One Tree Hill last year. I'm on season 6, episode 20. I quit watching it a while ago. So did you get to the Keith episode? The Keith episode. You know exactly what I was talking about if you did. If you did. I can't remember what season that was in, but I would highly suggest finishing the whole show. It literally has such a good ending. Ashley says, I love One Tree Hill. So I'm trying to find a new series for either me to watch. I'm still in the middle of Handmaid's Tale. Not in the middle. I'm in the middle of the last season. So I'm like, ending. And I'm just like, I gotta have something. And so does this happen with anyone else? Let me know. What I do is I'm like, okay, this looks like a decent show. Let me play episode 1. So I just did this with that one new show where the sisters are like, one of them is like a guest to the girl, not a guest, assistant to the lady who is like super rich and she's like Stepfordy, but I don't know. And then the other sister's like, you're living a fake life. What is this show called? But I watched the episode 1 and this did not happen. So basically I watched the first episode and I give it a second chance because One Tree Hill did this for me. It took me a long time. I think I had to watch episode 1 like 3 times before I was like, no, this is a good show. And so I'll watch episode 1, and if I don't like episode 1, I'm like, okay, episode 2. So then I watch episode 2, and if I do not by episode 2 get this feeling of this is a good show, I get this like feeling of just like this one's gonna be a good companion during this little project that you have going on. I don't know if it's the ADHD thing or what, but it's like a good drink. You're like, I gotta have a good drink. It's gotta be the right flavor. It can't be too caffeine-y too late in the day, but it can't, you get your drinks for the time of the days. You get your ice water has to be perfectly temperatured to get you in the mood to craft. And then you also have to have the right show or right podcast or right something. I don't know. So that show did not do that for me on episode 1. Sirens. I watched it all. It was weird, but the ending was good. Well, you can't say that because then I have to suffer through the whole thing so I can see the end. Okay. Should I watch it? So, funny story, not funny, but also funny. My best friend and I in high school literally were called the Sirens. We were like, we're gonna make a club. We were so sick of boyfriends. We were like, boyfriends are stupid. They hurt us. They just be mean and they're so dumb. And so we learned about, like, the one thing I had learned in school that I actually paid attention to was Sirens. And I was like, we're gonna make a club called the Sirens. And we were the only 2 in it. We were like, who else can be in it? We were like, I don't know. We never got around to like making a committee or anything. And so I remember telling my parents about it, my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad at the time was like, that's terrible. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, it's not. He was like, they're literally mermaids that convince men, like that lure men in and then the men die. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Boys are stupid. So that was my so anyways, I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, Sirens, that's an interesting movie, show, whatever, topic. Let's see what it's about. And it's weird. But it's really weird, actually. No, don't watch it, by the way. You are talking about it. Well, okay. Thanks for the pass. But if I end up finding something during this season, I'll let you guys know. But please feel free to send me your insights. And what are your most nostalgic shows? Like what's something you go back to? And let me tell you, people might hate me for this, but I cannot get into Gilmore Girls. I have tried many times. I like both those actresses. I love both of them because one of them was in Handmaid's Tale and she's amazing in that one. I think she died early in or mid-season, but sorry if you haven't seen it. And then the mom was in Parent Grant Family. What's that show called? With they're all family and it's got the guy from Coach in it and it's got, oh my gosh, I'm the worst. But Parenthood, is that what it's called? Parenthood. I loved that show. So it's nothing about the actresses. I can't stand the way, and we talked about this yesterday, is like sounds. I cannot stand the way that they talk to each other. And I know that's like one of people's favorite things. But I feel like that, I was like, I've lived with 2 teenagers for the last 4 years. Like, I don't want to listen to, and I've always been like that before my kids were teenagers too. I was like, I don't like, the tone that they use with each other is just really obnoxious. They should always argue, even if they're not arguing. So, yes, Parenthood. No, she didn't die. She doesn't die? She goes into that, she starts working in the field where she gets like the toxic poisoning. That's the last thing I remember about her. See, it's such a good show that I was like, I know when Dustin's ready to jump in, I can't wait because then I'm going to start from season 1. And it's like, there's so much going on that I'll forget things and that's good. Love a Million Little Things. Ooh, what's that? That's the one I've never heard of. Okay, I'm going to try it. 9 Perfect Strangers, so good. The 2nd season just came out. Okay. And then I love Gilmore Girls. Yeah, I can't. I've tried because I feel left out when people are talking about it. I'm like, I can't. I literally, There's something about me that I'm like, I give things a chance. I really do. People again might think I'm weird for this too, but like I'm pretty sure I hate fettuccine alfredo and I also hate lobster. And people think I'm crazy when I say that, but I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I hate them and I haven't had them in a very long time, and I just had them at Lannis's grad dinner and still pretty sure I hate them. I was like, nope, I definitely know myself. I don't like them. So people like try to convince you. And that's one of the reasons why I don't try to convince people like, you gotta try this. It's so good. If they don't like it, I'm like, okay, cool. Because there's so many people who are like, you don't like lobster? And I'm like, it has this weird taste to me. So I don't know. Grey's Anatomy. So yes, I think I'm on season like 12 of that, and I can pick that up at any time. That is a good one. I'm always kind of like, let me just watch another episode of Grey's, and I haven't done that in a really long time. I watched that one a lot when I was when we were renovating our first kitchen and I was putting together all the cabinets. I had Grey's going on the whole time. Only hair. Okay, so what this is it is a outcome of me cutting by color, because I do multiple designs and then I pair them by color and then I cut them and then I don't put them on something sometimes. This one goes with Dingle Hopper Hair Don't Care, and I have no idea where the only comes from. I don't know what design says only, but I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. High Potential is good. That one I did start and I do like it. I felt like the second episode was a little bit too much like the first episode. I was like, okay, how good can this really get? But I love how like it highlights like ADHD and like genius levels, like just not normal people like me, and people kind of think they're not, they just brush them off, you know, like she's amazing. I don't know, I just love it. I like that show. I do need to keep going with that one. I had to stop watching Grey's because the blood made me too queasy. Yeah, I don't mind medical blood at all. I don't mind medical anything unless it's like pimples and stuff, which I still don't mind, but there are times when it crosses the line, I'm like, okay, that was too much. But medical blood I can do all day. Killing blood, not so much. Like with Reacher, I was like, too much. But again, 1828 and 1923 or whatever those were too much too. Like, but it was still so good. And then we really do skip past like the really terrible parts, because that show actually does have some pretty bad parts. Honestly, I'm like, why do we have to have that part in there? Like, it doesn't, why keep that part alive? Like, I get we want to document history and stuff, but yeah. So, have you seen High Potential? I just finished watching it. High Potential is good. Okay, someone said it first, and then what about Good Doctor? Ooh, I don't think, have I seen Good Doctor? I feel like I took a break from the medical shows after I jumped out of Grey's too, because I was like, they're all gonna be similar. And then I'd have to keep track of all the different doctors and nurses and characters. And obviously I'm terrible with characters. I will go a whole show, all seasons, and I will not know the character's name. And sometimes I won't even know their face because I just listen to it so much. And so I know their voices. I feel like I think I've said this like a lot in past lives, but like these types of lives, not my past life. But, like I would have made such a good person to live in the time when radio was the thing, because that's really how I treat TV. I'm like, it's like a radio. Okay, I think I weeded. Let's put it all away. So we cut a few things. I think this will be the last episode of me just doing random craft prep with you guys. Because I really do want to get started on actually assembling and putting things together. And I think it'll help me because then I'll actually be able to get things moved back to the studio so we can take pictures of them and give them away to people. I don't know, something. So that was a lot of weeding. I have like these 2 other things, but I don't want these big old things sticky. Oh no, guys. I have this one. Oh yeah, I have a whole Rapunzel. Okay, I lied. We probably will do Aurora as well. I know we started her a while ago, but I forgot I have all of her designs already cut too. So I may do her kind of like we do with Rapunzel. Rapunzel and Aurora will come out in 2 different videos, Rapunzel crafting and Aurora crafting. Because I have a lot of cute things I want to make with both of those characters. An oldie but a goodie, Bates Motel. The main character in Good Doctor is in that show too, and he's so good. All right, I'll have to try both of those. It's about a surgeon who is autistic. Oh, Good Doctor? I think I did start that actually once. That sounds really good. So I'm gonna have to, I'll check in with you guys on what I ended up watching and starting or finishing, because I gotta finish Handmaid's Tale. It's really my favorite show right now. It's actually, you know how like shows come out and then you have a favorite show and then a new one comes out that like trumps that one? That's how Handmaid's Tale is for me. It literally is up there. I think it's one of my favorite shows I've ever watched. So it's just it's written so, like, usually plot twists, I can catch them pretty early. Things have blindsided me in that show a lot. So, all right, I will see you guys maybe later tonight, if not 2 times tomorrow and 2 times the next day, because we are locked in. I don't have to take Riley to work, nothing for the next 2 days. Also, Mystery Box is available to members right now if you're watching this anytime in June 2025. It'll stay available to members only for this month. And if it sells out, it sells out. But if it doesn't, we've already sold quite a few, but I know that our members like to jump on things quick. So appreciate that. But I'm going to be sneak peeking stuff. Was there any sneak peeks today of things that'll go in? A little, kind of. There's some of these that are the start of a little bit of something. That's not going to help you guys at all. All right. Love you guys. Bye.